Welcome back, everyone, to the Deep Dive. This time, we're doing a deep dive into someone I think you'll find pretty interesting,
Sure.
Christiane Simones. Now, we're not just skimming a resume here.
Right.
We're going deep into her LinkedIn profile to try to get a real sense of her professional journey. It's like, you know, a detective story, trying to piece together her skills and experiences,
Absolutely.
and maybe even get a glimpse of her personality.
Yeah, it's fascinating how much you can actually learn from someone's online presence.
Yeah.
And Christiane's profile, it isn't just like a static list of achievements. It's really a dynamic narrative that I think really reveals her evolution as a tech professional over nearly 2 decades.
Exactly. And, she doesn't just call herself like a delivery manager at Avenue Code, which, let's be honest, could mean a lot of things.
A lot of things.
Instead, she lays out this incredible journey for us, starting way back in 2004 as a software engineer. So you can see how she's built her career step by step.
This kind of progression speaks volumes, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely.
It suggests a commitment to continuous learning and a willingness to embrace new challenges. Not everyone kind of stays in the same lane for their entire career.
Right, exactly. Okay, so let's rewind back to the beginning of the story here.
Okay.
So she starts out as a software engineer at Encode Software Ltda.
Okay.
7 years in that role before moving into project management, all while at the same company.
So she's got this strong technical foundation before stepping into a more managerial role.
Exactly.
This is a pattern you often see with successful tech leaders. They understand the technical side of things firsthand.
Yes.
It's not just theory. They've been in the trenches.
Right, exactly. And then, boom, 2014, she joins Avenue Code.
Okay.
As an iteration manager. I bet some of you are thinking, wait, what exactly does that even mean?
Yeah, well, think of it as the person who keeps those agile development teams humming along smoothly. They're like the conductor of an orchestra, ensuring everyone is in sync, hitting their cues, and working towards that harmonious outcome.
Okay, so she's already moving into leadership and coordination at this point.
Yeah.
But hold on tight, because just 2 years later, she becomes a technical manager, AD, an agile specialist.
Wow.
Still at Avenue Code.
So to me, it looks like Avenue Code saw her potential early on. They recognized her growing expertise and her passion for agile methodologies.
Right.
It makes you wonder, did they have a plan for her development, or if she really kind of carved her own path?
Yeah, that's a good question. And let's not forget that professional Scrum Master certification from Scrum.org, that's not just checking a box.
No.
That shows she's invested in mastering the art of Agile.
Oh, yeah.
Which is like gold in today's fast-paced tech world.
Absolutely. But it's more than just knowing the Agile playbook, right?
Right.
Think about the real-world application, leading teams, navigating complex projects, and keeping everyone on the same page.
Right, yeah.
These are valuable skills no matter what industry you're in.
Okay, and then comes 2021.
Okay.
And she takes on the role of delivery manager.
Wow.
This is where her career path at Avenue Code gets really interesting. It's like watching someone climb a mountain, each step bringing them closer and closer to the summit.
This upward trajectory is really something.
Yeah.
She's consistently taking on more responsibility, expanding her skill set, and rising within the company.
Yeah.
I think that tells us a lot about her drive and her ability to deliver results.
Right. And remember how we were talking about how she started with that solid technical background?
Right.
Now imagine how that experience might shape her approach to management.
Absolutely.
It's not just about delegating tasks, it's about understanding the nuances of the work itself.
Exactly. And this is where that pasted text snippet we have adds another layer,
Yeah.
It mentions Christiane's passion for bridging the gap between pre-sales and delivery teams.
Okay.
Think about how crucial that is.
Yeah.
You've got the sales team promising the moon, but can the engineers actually deliver? Christiane's trying to bridge that divide.
That's got to be a tough gig.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like translating between two different languages.
Totally.
The language of sales and the language of software development.
Absolutely. And it requires a unique set of skills.
Yeah.
Not just technical know-how, but also the ability to communicate clearly, negotiate effectively, and build relationships across different departments.
Okay, so we've seen how she's climbed the ladder at Avenue Code, but let's zoom in on something that's often overlooked, but equally important, those so-called soft skills. Even on a platform like LinkedIn, you can get a sense of someone's personality
Oh, yeah.
and how they interact with others.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Think about the roles she's held. Iteration manager,
Mm.
technical manager, delivery manager.
Mm.
Those aren't solo gigs. You need strong leadership skills.
Right.
Clear communication and the ability to work effectively with others
Yep.
to succeed in those roles.
It's like she's built this awesome toolkit, right?
Exactly.
On one side, you've got the technical expertise, and on the other, those interpersonal skills that are so essential for any leader,
Yeah.
especially in a fast-paced, collaborative field like tech.
And this is a key takeaway for you listening.
Mm-hmm.
Don't underestimate the power of soft skills, right?
Yes.
They can make or break your career, especially as you move into more senior roles.
So true. Now, let's take a closer look at something that really caught my eye. Her certifications.
Okay.
It's more than just a list.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a roadmap of her commitment to continuous learning.
They really do tell a story, don't they? They reveal a lot about Christiane's dedication to staying ahead of the curve.
Yes.
In an industry that's constantly evolving. Take, for example, her recent certification in generative AI overview for project managers. That tells me she's not just keeping up. She's actively seeking out knowledge about cutting-edge technologies and figuring out how to apply them to her work.
That's pretty impressive. It shows a level of proactivity that's not always easy to find. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this.
Yeah.
Does this reveal anything about Christiane's personality or work ethic?
It definitely does.
Okay.
She's not content with just knowing what she already knows. She's actively seeking out new knowledge and skills, which is a valuable trait in any profession, right? It shows adaptability and a growth mindset.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground already. We've seen Christiane's journey from software engineer to delivery manager, her commitment to agile methodologies, and her dedication to continuous learning. But there's another layer to this story that we need to explore.
Okay.
The human element. It's not just about job titles and skills. It's about understanding who Christiane is
Right.
as a person and a professional.
Right.
And we'll dive into that in the next part of our deep dive.
Sounds good. You know, it's one thing to have like a polished LinkedIn profile, but what really caught my eye was Christiane's activity.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's not just posting about her own accomplishments. She's engaging with content from other people in the tech world.
You're right. I noticed she's liked and commented on posts about agile methodologies, leadership styles, and even the role of AI in project management.
Right.
It's like she's curating her own mini feed of industry insights.
It suggests that she's staying informed about the latest trends and engaging with thought leaders in her field.
Right.
She's not just passively consuming information, she's actively participating in the conversation.
And remember that generative AI overview for project manager certification we talked about?
Right.
Clearly, she's not just reading headlines. She's taking concrete steps to deepen her understanding and figure out how these new technologies can be applied to her work.
Exactly. It's one thing to be aware of a trend, but it's another to actually, you know, roll up your sleeves and get your hands dirty.
Right.
Christiane's clearly not afraid to dive in and experiment.
It's like she's building a bridge between the theoretical and the practical.
Yeah.
She's taking these cutting-edge ideas and figuring out how they can be used to solve real-world problems in project management.
And that's incredibly valuable in today's tech landscape. It's not enough to just keep up. You need to be able to anticipate what's coming next and position yourself to take advantage of it.
It makes you wonder what kind of impact this has on the teams she leads and the projects she manages.
Yeah.
Do you think her forward-thinking approach creates a ripple effect?
I'd say so.
Okay.
It likely fosters a culture of innovation and continuous improvement within her teams. People see her embracing new technologies and they're inspired to do the same.
It's inspiring for all of us, really.
Yeah.
It shows that you can be a seasoned professional with years of experience and still be excited about learning new things and pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Couldn't agree more. It's a reminder that learning is a lifelong journey, not just something you do in school or at the beginning of your career.
Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about something that can reveal a lot about a person.
Oh, okay.
Recommendations. We've got a couple of glowing recommendations on Christiane's profile
Right.
that paint a really interesting picture of her as a leader and a colleague.
These aren't just generic endorsements.
Right.
They offer specific insights into how Christiane operates in a team environment.
The first one is from Felipe Dornelis,
Okay.
who worked with Christiane on a particularly demanding project.
Mm-hmm.
He praises her leadership skills, her ability to kind of shield the team from distractions,
Right.
and her willingness to jump in and help wherever needed.
That's a powerful statement.
Yeah.
It highlights not only her competence, but also her positive impact on team morale and dynamics. It sounds like she creates a sense of trust and camaraderie within her teams.
Exactly. And then there's another recommendation from Thomas Anderson Sousa Silva.
Okay.
He describes her as dedicated, efficient, proactive, and, wait for it, charming.
That last bit is interesting, isn't it?
It is.
It suggests that Christiane is someone who people genuinely enjoy working with. It's not just about getting the job done. It's about creating a positive and enjoyable work environment.
It's these little details that bring a LinkedIn profile to life.
Oh, yeah.
They give you a glimpse of the person behind the professional achievements.
They help you understand what kind of colleague, leader, and collaborator Christiane might be.
Right.
And that's valuable information, especially if you're considering her for a role or a partnership.
So as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, what's the key takeaway you want our listener to ponder?
I think the biggest takeaway here is that Christiane's LinkedIn profile reveals much more than just her career history.
Okay.
It showcases her active engagement with industry trends, her commitment to continuous learning, and her passion for connecting the dots between technical expertise and the human element in project management.
Well said. And in the final part of our deep dive, we're going to take a closer look at Christiane's project work.
Okay.
It's one thing to talk about skills and experience,
Right.
but it's even more interesting to see how those are applied in real-world situations.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. All right, we're back for the final part of our deep dive into Christiane Simo's career journey. We've gone through her progression through different roles, her passion for agile, and even, all those important soft skills. But now let's roll up our sleeves and get into the nitty-gritty,
Okay.
the actual projects she's tackled.
All right.
This is where we really see her expertise in action.
Yeah, it's like opening up a toolbox and seeing all the different tools she's mastered over the years.
Exactly.
Each project kind of adds a new layer of understanding to who Christiane is as a tech professional.
Right. And the first project that jumped out at me was her work on implementing Microsoft Team Foundation Server. She talks about defining process templates for the tool to manage the application lifecycle. Think about what that entails, right?
Yeah.
Understanding the entire software development process.
Right.
And then figuring out how to optimize it.
Yeah.
Using a specific tool.
That's not just about technical knowledge.
Right.
It's about understanding the big picture and tailoring solutions to, specific organizational needs.
Yeah.
You can see how those project management skills are starting to shine through.
And remember how we were talking about how much emphasis she puts on agile methodologies.
Right.
It's fascinating to see how those principles are put into practice in a real-world setting.
Yeah.
It's one thing to talk about agile,
Right.
but it's another to actually implement it effectively.
Absolutely.
Now, another project that caught my attention was her work on a retail project.
Okay.
She mentions responsibilities like survey requirements, test planning, execution, and coordination. Does that sound familiar?
It's classic project management in action. It shows she can gather information, create a detailed plan, execute it flawlessly, and ensure quality throughout the entire process.
Right.
These are fundamental skills that apply to almost any project in any industry.
It's like she's built this solid foundation of project management expertise that she can then apply to different contexts.
Exactly.
Whether it's software development or retail, the core principles remain the same.
And it's not something you learn overnight.
Right.
This level of mastery comes from years of experience, from tackling different challenges, and constantly refining your approach.
Okay, last but not least, let's talk about the Delphi Documents project.
Okay.
She worked on documentation for new versions of Delphi, which tells me she's not afraid to dive deep into technical details and then turn that information into something that's easily digestible for others.
Yeah, don't underestimate the importance of clear, concise documentation.
Oh, absolutely.
It's crucial for knowledge transfer, onboarding new team members, and maintaining consistency in software development practices.
It also shows a willingness to, like, share knowledge and help others learn.
Absolutely.
She's not just focused on her own success.
Right.
She wants to empower others to succeed as well.
And that's a hallmark of a true leader.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who can not only execute, but also effectively communicate
Mm-hmm.
their vision, processes, and expectations to their team.
So we've seen how Christiane's project work provides concrete examples of her technical expertise, her project management skills, and her ability to communicate complex information clearly. What's the one big takeaway you'd like our listener to walk away with from this deep dive?
I think the most important takeaway is that Christiane really embodies what it means to be a successful tech professional in today's world. It's not just about coding skills. It's about continuous learning, embracing new technologies, building strong relationships, and communicating effectively.
Beautifully said. Christiane's story reminds us that success isn't a destination. It's a journey.
Yeah.
And it's a journey that's filled with challenges, opportunities, and the constant pursuit of growth.
As a final thought, I encourage you to reflect on your own journey. What can you learn from Christiane's approach? How can you cultivate that same growth mindset, embrace new challenges, and build a career that's both fulfilling and impactful?
It's a great question to ponder. And that wraps up our deep dives into the career journey of Christiane Samos. We hope you've enjoyed exploring her profile with us.
Thanks for listening.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep diving deep into the world around you.